good morning, and good morning. How are you? I am getting over a cold, and I just decided that I feel well enough to come on in here with you a minute, but I'm making it simple. I didn't go through the long, um, process of looking up every single word, but I'm going to make it fun. Hopefully, you will enjoy it. I want to talk about oxymorons versus a paradox, or what is an oxymoron. A lot of times we use them and we don't even know the reason or the origin, but they've been around a while. And I was going to read a little bit about that. Um, Hoping that your last few days have been good. Um, I don't know how I caught a cold, but I did. I caught a real cold and went to the doctor on Monday, and they determined that I did not have COVID. I did not have the flu. I just had a cold. And I'm just getting to the point now where I can actually taste food. I couldn't smell anything, couldn't taste anything, but I didn't really feel bad. I just kind of sounded bad, and I had a cough. So they gave me the cough syrup, and I'm better now. I am better. I'm gonna be even more better. I said I'm gonna be better on Friday. But when I come back, but I want to talk a little bit about what is an oxymoron. And they were talking about oxymorons and paradoxes. So I said I would give you the explanation of both of them, and then we'll go through the drill of just staying on oxymorons and see if you could come up with a few for yourselves. But it says an oxymoron and a paradox are similar in that they combine contradictory or opposing elements, but differ in terms of their length. And so it says an oxymoron consists of two words that contradict themselves to reveal a deeper meaning, like open secret. Now, if the secret is a secret, then it wouldn't be open. And if it was open, it wouldn't be a secret. So you see how they kind of flip both ways. But it says an oxymoron, because of in its context is open, can be understood to mean not secret, while secret means private. It says on a deeper level, the combination of these two words means it's supposed to be a secret, but everybody knows. So that's kind of interesting, because sometimes we do get information that we're not supposed to have. We know it's supposed to be a secret, but it's open enough for other people to know about it, so it's not so private. So anyway, in a paradox, it says is a statement or an elaborate idea that initially seems ideological but reveals a deeper truth. It's defined by its contradictory nature or juxtaposition of ideas, and often needs to be expressed using more than two words. Usually, an oxymoron is like two words. You're not going to find a three-word oxymoron. A paradox, you may have more words being used for it. And so, when we look at the whole concept of, why is it a paradox or is it an oxymoron? It's usually a paradox if it is the two words. It says the only constant in life is change. It says the paradox is because the idea of something simultaneously remaining constant, changing, and contradictory. So the only constant in life is change. Well, change, if it was an oxymoron, it would just be constant change. But in a paradox, they had to use more words for the explanation of what it all meant. So kind of interesting, kind of interesting. It says oxymorons in literature examples like, I like a smuggler. He is the only honest thief. He's a thief, so how could he be honest? Unless he's just true to his craft of being a thief. Interesting. Richard Brimley Sheridan, the critic, it says, the silence of the forest was oppressive and overwhelming. It was a loud silence that seemed to envelop the world in a cloak of quiet. Come on now. Is that not good? You just think about it, how words can take on meaning. And that was from Jack London, The Call of the Wild. And then here's the last one. And I know you all probably remember this if you know anything about Romeo and Juliet by Shakespeare, William. It says, parting is such sweet sorrow. Okay? Sorrow is sad. Sweet is this, that. It's sweet. So how could you have sweet sorrow? Oxymoron. So we got some oxymoron examples that we'll come back to, but when we get to the word of oxymoron, we talk about the oxymoron is a figure of speech in which apparently contradictory terms appear in conjunction. So they appear to be right, but they're not right. So it's contradictory. It could be the further explanation of used as in a paradox. It could be some inconsistency. It could be irony. It could be an enigma, self-contradiction, absurdity. In fact, I was talking to my daughter this morning and I was telling her, you know what oxymoron? And she said, yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's absurd. So she knows it too. Absurdity. So here's some words that pretty much come up under the word of oxymoron. But before I do them, I wanted to give you some examples of them. And it says, oxymoron examples, seriously funny. How many people have you met that are seriously funny? Nah. And serious means, serious. I mean this. Funny means I'm happy. I'm excited or whatever. But seriously funny. Tragically comedy. Tragic comedy. Once again, they don't go, but yet and still we understand them. We understand it. Tragic comedy. Clearly confused. How many of us have been clearly confused about a lot of things? Yes, we have over the years. Clearly confused. Same difference. Good morning, Miss Clay. How are you? I'm getting over my cold. You had a cold too? Did you have a cold? Sometimes traveling will give you a cold. Let's see. Clearly confused. Here's another one. Same difference. If it's the same, there would be no difference. There would be no difference. So that's one. Only choice. Now, if you had choices, then it wouldn't be the only one. Because choice means opportunity for more of a selection. Only means, there's only one. You don't have any other one. Growing smaller. That one's interesting. Hi, good morning, Joan. How are you? Hope you're doing well. I'm getting over my cold, but I just felt compelled that I was missing you all. And I said, I'm going to do something, but I'm going to make it simple. And today our word is oxymoron. And Joan's a writer, so she knows what I'm talking about. Growing smaller is, if something is growing, it can't be smaller. It's smaller or it's growing. One or the other. Virtual reality. I always thought that one was interesting. Virtual reality. Reality means real. Virtual means I'm not there with it. It's virtual. So that's kind of weird. Exact estimate. An estimate, that means you're giving information that's approximate, but exact means it must be specific. Once again, that's an oxymoron that has interest in it. It doesn't make sense, but then again, it does. The living dead. Oh, the living dead. They also say the walking dead. I've heard that. In fact, they had a movie out or a play or something that was called The Walking Dead. So it's letting you know that, there's this possibility where something is dead, but there's life still in it. Don't know. The walking dead, living dead, act naturally. I remember when we were little, I remember our teachers, when we were going out to do little poems or something for a play, and the teacher would always say, act naturally. What we supposed to do. We were kids. Whatever we acted, that's where we were at the time. Act naturally. And how about old news? Usually news means it's new. Old news means it would be old. So old news, oxymoron. Passionate, it could be this or that, or this or that. Up and down, on and off. So many words. Here's some other examples. Let's see. Seriously funny, tragic comedy. These are ones that came on the bottom of my sheet here. I like that one, tragic comedy. And then when we go to the word of oxymoron itself, we talk about the O. For my O, I have it's an open secret. If it's secret, it shouldn't be open. But yet and still, everybody knows about it. And now for my X of oxymoron. Good morning, Erica. Good morning. How are you? I'm here, doing pretty good, doing much better than I have done the last few days. Thank God for that. That is over. My X for oxymoron is X-ray brick. An X-ray is something that sees through something, but you cannot see through brick. So an X-ray brick, when they're talking about things that go together that don't go together, that's what we came up with. How about for my Y, I have yield and resist. When we yield, that means there's no fight in us. But resist says that we might be fighting. I'm happy you're feeling that. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you so much. If we resist, that means there's fight in us. We're like, we ain't going down easily. We're going to fight this out. My M is for melancholy merriment. Now, obviously, merriment means fun, having fun, happy, and all of that. Melancholy means that the person is sad. So how can it be melancholy merriment? Once again, that's an oxymoron. What oxymorons have you all used? Anybody? Then we have random order. Random order. Now, if something is orderly, it's hardly to say that it's random, that it's in order. Okay, somebody put it in order. But random already says that it could be you get anything out of there. There is no order to it. My next O is for a one-man band. Now, if you have a band symbolizes or indicates that there's more than one person. So a one-man band means that, it's hard to believe that somebody could be playing all the instruments and doing all the singing and everything. But I have seen a gentleman here out of Mobile, Alabama, that does all of that, and he's very, very good. He can sing, he can play all the instruments, so it's very interesting. And sometimes he's playing a lot of those instruments at one time. I don't know how he does it, but it's quite interesting to me. And then we have negative growth. Negative growth. If something is growing, would it be negative? Seems like anything that's growing would be a positive. But a negative growth just gives you an idea that more is going on than what maybe is being interpreted. But anyway, I wanted to just say that I'm happy for this new year. I wasn't going to stay on long because I know I sound like a little bit of frogginess. But I wanted to just say that, I love you guys. And there's so many ways to really look at words. And I don't think we pay attention to the fact that we use a lot of things that make sense to us, even though maybe first look or first thought they shouldn't, but they do. I think my mother used to always say, climb down from there. Well, usually climbing means you're going up. So down says that you're coming down. But my mother, my mother always used that for us when we were up in a tree or up a ladder, someplace, something doing that we shouldn't have been doing. Yes, thanks, Joan. Thank you so much. But I just wanted to make a short session today. It wasn't a long one, but I just wanted to talk about words that sometimes we forget that they make sense to us, and sometimes they shouldn't, but they do. And that we will use them, and people will know what we're talking about. For myself, I do use those words, no big deal. But certainly looking at life going forward, I'm going to use as many of them as possible so that people say, well, she speaks out of this way and that way. That means I'm letting you know I do understand. I do understand it. But I'll be back on Friday. I'll be feeling better with a regular word. And we will say, are you stuck? And we'll mean it with good stuff. And it won't be that I'm not feeling well. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. But you all have a great day. And have a great tomorrow too. And then on Friday, we'll have a good time. Okay, we'll come up with another word. But I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. You could still send this out to somebody as a shared message. Let them know that oxymorons are they're words that we use all the time, and we don't really pay much attention to it, but it certainly means something. All right. Bye, Erica. Bye, Joan, Miss Clay, everybody. Love you guys. And I'll see you on Friday. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.